Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip, and we are live with another market open stream. This market has started off today. Yesterday was bullish. Today we're getting a little bit of mixed reviews in the traditional market, but Bitcoin still is trying to trend up, which is pretty good to see. Today we're going to cover what has happened with the traditional market, S&P 500, and Bitcoin in presidential election years, because it is 2023 right now. Starting in 2024, we are going to have a lot of campaign rallying happening for anybody trying to get elected into office. And come November 2024, we will be voting again, as Americans at least here in the USA, on who the next president of the United States is going to be. And typically there are some things that happen on a election year with the market. And so we're going to look at some of the average performances that we've seen out of the S&P 500 in specific detail, and some trends we've seen for Bitcoin as well. Also today, we'll get into some good news that came out for XRP that I wanted to share with you guys, and a couple other stories that are on the tip of the news today that I wanted to get out in front of you guys. If you like this kind of content, tap that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content, and let's hop right in and look at these charts. So today, the overall market's a little bit down for Bitcoin. Earlier, Bitcoin was quite a bit higher. Obviously, in the last 7 days, we've seen Bitcoin performing pretty darn well. This morning, we saw Bitcoin breach above $28,000 again, and right now, kind of deciding what it wants to do next. Is this going to stay up above 28,000 or not? It's up 2% currently on the day, and apparently trending according to CoinMarketCap, but looking really strong. Now, October is something that people have called Uptober, and there's some other trends we got to look at with this presidential election concept of, what happens during a presidential election year that I think you're going to find very, very interesting if you stick around to the end of this video, guys, because we've got to jump into that. Ethereum currently at $1,641. Look, guys, things are trying to go up here in October. There's no guarantees. Traditionally, October is bullish. It is good to see some of these coins that need a bounce get a bounce, however, like Binance coin. Later on, we're going to look at a tweet from CZ, the CEO of Binance as well, and some of his feelings on what's going on in the media and with the things that people are saying about his token, about his company. XRP had some terrific news, but strangely enough is down 1.3% on the day. I don't understand it, and you'll see why I'm a little bit confused, because there is some very bullish news for XRP that came out yesterday where a judge is siding with them over the SEC, which is actually very, very exciting. Now, maybe that's part of the reason we're getting an upward move today, but also maybe the other reason is just, hey, it's October, it's Uptober. We went up a little bit in September, which was shocking, but we have really struggled to get above $30,000 ever since we kind of came down from $30,000 in the middle of the summer, and all of a sudden a bunch of longs were liquidated. We hit a floor at seemingly about 24,000 and change, and kind of bounced right back up and could be testing the $30,000 level again. Altcoins are struggling. Crocoin right now still ranked number 36, sitting at 5 cents. Not really something we're expecting to see explode until Bitcoin can get into a true bull market again, and altcoins overall can start performing again, at which point many of us here that I've been talking about Crocoin believe that there's going to be a lot of upside for that token and other altcoins as well. Now, looking at the weekly candles right now for the S&P 500, you can kind of see what the temperature is in the macro side of things. Looking at the last 4 weeks here, you'll see 5 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red weeks in a row, which is very, very interesting. Let's look at the monthly candles. You can see we had August was red, September was red. Now October is red. 3 monthly candles in a row that are red for the S&P 500 is quite a bit. More than, you'd like to see if you were trying to buy a dip here in the end of September around the FOMC meeting. And a lot of people are wondering, are we due for a recession or what comes next? Well, in order to get a good answer as to what might be coming, I think we can kind of look at the past for an indication of maybe where we go from here. First of all, I just got to say, it definitely looks like if you take a line and you kind of draw a line here, it looks like this could be a bottom coming up for the S&P 500 unless we go into a full-blown recession, because This is about an 8% correction, 8 or 9% correction for the S&P 500 from back in July to current day. It's about an 8% correction. That's a huge downside for the S&P 500. That is a lot of downward price movement for the S&P 500. Not just a little dip. That's a big dip for the S&P 500. Well, what comes next, guys? I think you got to look at this. So the S&P 500 index total returns during the presidential election years from 1928 to 2016. This doesn't include 2020, but I think 2020 was probably bearish because of the pandemic. So you can see a couple things here. One, U.S. presidential election results and the average return. Now they have three different metrics. When a Republican was elected, 15.3% gains on that year leading up to that final decision, 15.3% gains. When a Democrat was elected, it looks like 7.6% gains. But on average, every single election year, we will see, for example, in 2024, the chances are of an 11% gain. Well, the average is 11% gain. That is kind of what it looks at. You look at traditionally 11% gains on a presidential election year. Now, a Democrat currently holds office, so is a Republican going to get elected, and are we going to have a bigger rally, or are the Democrats going to hold office, and are we going to have more towards these returns? Typically, guys, when Republicans are elected, it seems that markets are more bullish traditionally in general. When Democrats are elected, it seems to be that markets are a little more tentative. But regardless, the average return is 11.28% gains on any election year. And let's look into the specifics now. You can look back and see in 2016, when Donald Trump was elected, it was 12% gains. When Obama was elected in 2012, we actually had very good returns that year, 16%. In 2008, when Obama was elected, there was a 37% correction downside for the S&P, a spectacularly terrible year because of the 2008 financial crisis that Obama entered office during. Bush had a 10.9% rally. He also had a negative 9% rally. So you can see there have been several times where there have been negative returns going back into the history of this. A lot of big returns, more times positive returns than negative returns. But this one was nuts with Obama, 37% downside, 9% downside for Bush. That's a tough year. But think about that, guys. 9% on the election year downside. We are 9% down in like 3 months from July. So maybe we're oversold right now. Maybe we're oversold in the S&P 500. And if you want an idea of what comes for Bitcoin and the regular markets, well then perhaps, the move is to look at the history here. And if history is telling us anything and we want to take any kind of lesson from history, we can maybe expect that, hey, next year we're probably going to go up about 10 or 11%, something around there. Maybe 5%, maybe 15%, maybe 40%. Who knows? But this kind of brings you back to a dollar cost averaging strategy because at the end of the day, this could be a bullish year coming up. We are close to kind of all-time highs for the S&P 500. Still a couple moves up away. But we could see a breakout. And if we can see S&P 500 breakout next year, then maybe we can see Bitcoin breakout as well. Let's look back and see the 2016 election in the year prior, what happened from quarter to quarter. So in 2016, that was actually a very bullish year for Bitcoin. As you can see here, you see a 62% gain in Q2 and a 58.17% gain in Q4 of that election year when Donald Trump was elected. And if you want to go back to the year before that, you can see Q4 leading up to that election year was also an 81% return. Now, 2020, you can see that there was a 100% return on the year after that. There was let's see here. So 2020 was the election year. 42% gain, 17% gain, 168% gain for Bitcoin. A spectacularly bullish year for Bitcoin. The year leading up to that, actually Q4 and Q3 were terrible. So maybe we're in for, here's your Q3 that was bad. Maybe we get a bad Q4, who knows? And then our election year's bullish again. But it looks like, just looking at the past 2 election years for Bitcoin, it looks like things could possibly, if the previous results of what's happened with Bitcoin follow the same kind of trajectory into the future, we could see some bullish movement for Bitcoin coming into the year 2024. On top of that, guys, there are some good. Here's a crypto.com ad, by the way. Great to see if you're a crypto.com holder, getting those ads out. SEC has been clearly battling the crypto industry. We are kind of moving past that. And why can I say something like that? Well, the SEC's motion to appeal the fact that a judge said that Ripple's not a security, that appeal was rejected in court. It was denied. And that means that Ripple is in fact, and XRP is in fact not a security. And this is very bullish. XRP rallied 5% from this decision, but as you'll look at the XRP price action here in a little bit, you can see, or we showed you earlier in the stream, it's actually down now today, maybe only because it had a rally yesterday, but I do expect this to be very bullish for XRP. If you're part of the XRP army, smash that like button because I do think this is a very good sign. And it's very frustrating to see all this positive news happen and this negative news just get kind of bounced around in the media. Because look at this. This is great news too for Ripple. Crypto firm Ripple secures Singapore payments license one day, the same day actually, as this news came out that the judge said, hey, we reject the SEC and their idea that XRP is a security. So these are two bits of good news. But let's look at what CZ tweeted the other day, because I think this is a very interesting tweet that is something to keep in mind with Bitcoin, with crypto, with the traditional market, and with anything being discussed by the mainstream media. CZ and Binance says applies not only to X, and he's retweeting a Elon Musk tweet. The more they claim that X is failing, the more they damage what little credibility they have, and the more that X grows. What's very interesting about this, and I'm not taking sides here, but you can look at history and you can see that this is true. When you start to talk about somebody negatively, that can get their movement to become stronger. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is irrelevant, but that's how it works. For example, you can look at Donald Trump in the 2016 election. The media said, terrible, 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 terrible. And his movement got stronger, 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 stronger. And then to everybody's surprise, he was elected president of the United States. Good or bad thing, irrelevant. The fact is, somebody was saying it was a bad thing repeatedly, trying to claim that it was failing, that it was not going to be successful, that it was never going to happen, and then it happened. They damaged the credibility, and now there's a big sense of distrust with the media because they got it so wrong. Right or wrong, that's irrelevant. The point is that as people say negative things about one particular thing, when that thing starts to succeed and continues to succeed, then the credibility of the people that said this wouldn't happen is shot. You follow? Elon Musk is getting the same kind of flack from people that are bashing Twitter. And, well, should we call it X now? Should we just call it X forever now? Because that's what it is. He said people are saying X is failing, X is worse than it's ever been. It's actually seemingly better than it's ever been, honestly. And Binance is trying to get the same sentiment going. Everybody in the media is coming at Binance. You've seen how many stories about Binance this, the DOJ against Binance that, the SEC against Binance this. Binance US, the CEO drops out. They're failing. They don't have the money. They had the bad. They're going to be the next FTX. Kevin O'Leary comes out yesterday and says CZ's got arrows in his back. No. Applies not only to X. It applies to Binance. It applies to crypto.com. It applies to Bitcoin and crypto overall. And people have been laughing at Bitcoin for how many years? Well, the more you laugh at it, the more people are curious. Well, what the heck is this thing? More people start to research it. And there's more strongholders than we've ever had in this market than ever before. So it just is truly a real sentiment. When we can pay attention to the positive news, you can see the trajectory of where this thing is going. At the same time, there's going to be negative news, guys. And there is a lot of things that crypto still has yet to deal with. Crypto regulation, which is going to be an interesting thing to watch. We still have the FTX trial that's going on right now. I don't really have any updates for you guys on the FTX trial today, but just know that that is going to be ongoing. And as updates come, we'll keep you posted on that. In other news, Crypto.com Expedition Gear, the NFT line for the Loaded Lion Main City game, you'll see right here, is being sold pretty quickly, but there's still 23,590 packs left. These are tools that are going to help enhance your leveling capabilities and diamond and gold generation in this Web3 game that Crypto.com launched. This Web3 game is one big piece of what I think is going to drive them to the top in terms of being one of the largest crypto exchanges on planet Earth. I did a video yesterday about them potentially being the #1 crypto exchange, kind of due to some of the comments Kevin O'Leary made about FTX and Binance as well, because people are looking for a 100% compliant exchange. Crypto.com is that and more. They launched a game. They have a CFTC approved product. They got the marketing out the wazoo. We just saw an ad earlier in this stream because of it. But this collectible is pretty cool. This game is a lot of fun. I expect more growth here. That is not sold out though yet, so we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see what kind of the prices end up panning on for those when they hit the open market on the Crypto.com NFT platform. The price of CRO still coming down. No surprise, no change. Not a lot of news with that, guys. Crocoin versus BTC still going down, still turning down. No surprise. I see this trend line very strongly. I expect, you know what I expect. I'm looking at a 20-something% crash still for Crow versus Bitcoin and about a 25% crash for Crow versus the US dollar. So we'll keep it on. Excuse me, guys. We'll keep an eye on how that plays out there. Looking at Binance, trying to hang on. Could be looking at this move. I don't know if it happens, guys, but if Binance falls off this cliff, then there's going to be an insane buying opportunity for this token, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens with Bitcoin. I would likely expect, if this crash happens here, Bitcoin's falling too. This is kind of just as much of a temperature of Bitcoin in my mind than it is of Binance, because Binance is very strong. Binance held up very strongly during this bear market and is still holding pretty strong, even though it's right on the edge of a cliff. So altcoins aren't really doing anything crazy right now. This is really what we've been talking about for a while on the channel, and nothing outside of what we've been expecting. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick, which is back above $28,000. By the way, we're going to do a little Q&A. So guys, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. Right now, by the way, we do have 22 viewers, 5 likes. I know you can get those likes up to at least 20 folks. So do me a favor, tap that like button if you support the channel. If you want your crypto bags to go up, tapping the like button and spreading the awareness for crypto is going to help us in the long run for crypto adoption. Bitcoin, though, back above $28,000 at one of my key price levels. I think that if we can get this monthly candle to continue and close above 28K, then we can get our shot back up to 30K before the end of the year. Let's zoom out, though, a little bit and take a look at the daily candles and just see what's going on right there. Let me zoom out a little bit. So it looks like we are trying to cut back up. If this daily candle can close above 28K, maybe we can get that move up to 30 again. We'll have to see how it plays out. We noticed, though, we've had a lot of moments where we've struggled right around this level, kind of breakthrough right there, struggle right there, maybe a struggle right here. Let's see if that's a fake out. We've had a breakdown below. So, I mean, you can kind of see break down below, break back above, break back down below. You can kind of look at all these little moments, and you can see we are not out of the woods yet. Just because we're having 1 or 2 up days for Bitcoin and crypto doesn't necessarily mean that it's off to the races. It's bullish season for sure. I do think there's going to be one more sneaky correction on this thing. I just don't know when. You can't possibly anticipate when that's going to be. But what we can do is look back to the presidential election conversation, like I was saying. In a presidential election year, typically markets perform pretty well, and that's something that I like to look at and think, okay, dollar cost averaging this year in a bear market leading into a presidential election sounds like a pretty good idea to me. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. QBA says, when do you expect an all-time high on Cronos? And what do you expect that price to be? I expect it to be anywhere from $2 to $5. I think that's about the highest that this thing could go. So yeah, that's what I think. I just don't know exactly when. I'm going to say, guys, that it's going to come likely in, let's say, you know, summer of 2025. I think we can be above $1 for sure by summer of 2025. I just don't know exactly when we peak. Nobody can really tell you that, but I do believe that there's going to be a incredible time where Crow goes really high up, maybe to $5. I think it can break $2. And if you want to know why I think that, well, just look at the market cap of Binance, look at the trajectory of Binance, look at the total value locked up in the Binance Smart Chain, look at the total value locked up in the Cronos Smart Chain, look at the marketing, look at the development, look at the amount of users on the Binance exchange. I love to compare those two because they both have EVM compatible chains. They both have a lot of total value locked up. There's no reason that Crow shouldn't start catching up to Binance. Doesn't have to flip it, just has to start catching up. And needs to start just outperforming more regularly Binance, which I think can happen, specifically because of the attractiveness of the exchange due to its regulatory compliance. So those are some of the things that I look at, and we have so many videos on Binance and crypto.com on that. If you want to go back and subscribe to the channel and look through our previous videos, filter to like our top viewed videos and you'll see some of that information. Yeah, so there you go. When? I don't know. Summer of 2025. Let's say somewhere in the summer to fall. Q3, Q4 of 2025. Yeah, I think it has to be in either Q2, Q3, or Q4 of 2025. I can't pick one because I just can't predict the market like that. Shy Sox Fan for Life says, I kind of want to take some money out of my retirement account and put it in Bitcoin. Well, Shy Sox Fan for Life, I have a friend that did that. And that went terribly for him because he did that in the middle of a bull market. Now, you're in a bear market. Maybe that's a better idea. But honestly, I don't know how old you are, Shy Sox Fan for Life. I don't know if you have kids, but all those things matter. Do you have a house payment? Your risk tolerance is directly a reflection of your risk capability is directly a reflection of what's going on in your life. Do you have kids? Do you have a family? Do you have a wife? Do you have, debt? What do you got going on? And if you don't have a lot of debt and you don't have a lot of responsibilities, then moves like that, you do your own thing. You can justify it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not giving you financial advice on it. I can see that making more sense to somebody. But as I've been in this market for now, this is going to be my third bull cycle coming up. You have a lot of time to accumulate as long as you have a job where you're making some kind of steady income and you have something to shuffle aside. We don't need to get greedy. We don't need to get greedy. Get greedy when others are fearful. We do say that, but you don't need to like YOLO all in, right? We don't need to like take all our retirement accounts and drain them to get must have more Bitcoin, though maybe it'd perform really well. You don't want to take your tax hit when you drain your retirement accounts. You take a huge tax implication. You lose all your tax advantage accounts. That's your safety net. I like keeping my safety net as a safety net. Now, maybe you stop contributing to your 401k for a while. That's also something where maybe you miss your employer match. I don't even know if you have a 401k. Maybe you stop contributing to your Roth IRA, but those are tax advantage accounts. At one point, I wanted to create a channel just on Roth IRAs and 401ks, and I actually did back in the day. But those are tax advantage accounts. HSA accounts are pretty cool too, but keeping those for the long term aren't going to hurt you. We don't need to get too greedy, I don't think. But I saw somebody did that, and it went terribly for them, but they did it in a bull market. And obviously, then the market crashed. So all their retirements basically got drained by 70%. You don't want that to happen, guys. Kind of young. I'll be 40 in February. I'm 30. And I'll tell you, I just got married a couple months ago. I just bought a house. I certainly can't fathom the idea of draining my retirement accounts for Bitcoin, my 401k. But I will tell you that my Roth IRA account, I put it into Coinbase stock. So, I did that. I also did that when I was much younger and I had much less responsibilities. Moving forward, as I put more money into my Roth IRA, I'm probably not going to be putting it into such risky stuff. I'll probably put it more into the S&P 500 maybe into the triple Qs, maybe into, you know, some of my more favorite stocks. Maybe you put it into something a little more risky like Nvidia or Tesla or whatever it might be. But, you know, those are my thoughts. That's not financial advice. Sushi Satoshi says 84. 84. 84? I don't know. Let me know what you're talking about, Sushi. Last time I saw Quant was in the 80s. Oh, 84 for Quant? Okay, maybe that's what it was. QBA asks, would you sell on an exchange or just unstake in wallet and exchange and in it stablecoins? Would you just sell on an exchange or unstake in wallet and exchange it in for stablecoins? I would end up, what I'm going to do, like with my Cronos, is I'm going to unstake it at some point, and I'm going to send it to my crypto.com wallet directly, and I'm going to sell it from there, and I'm going to transfer it to my bank account from there. 1984. Guys, the 80s, I wish. Yeah, I feel like I was born in the wrong era. Once upon a time, I was an Elvis impersonator, so if that gives you any idea as the kind of things I like. The Count Basie Orchestra. Well, all right. Okay. You win. Oh, baby, what can I do? I love that stuff. Big band, swing band. It's a lot of fun. Is there a better option for Crow than in-app at 4%? The Infinity, absolutely. You can right now get 8 or 7 or 8% in the crypto.com DeFi wallet. Check out some of my other videos on how to do that. Look back on the channel for those because they are there. Crypto.com, if you type in crypto.com DeFi wallet tutorial or how to stake your Crow in the DeFi wallet, I'm sure one of my videos will pop up on it. So check that out. Aoli says Quant and Link price prediction. I don't follow Quant and Link quite as much, but look, guys, Quant and Link should 10x, they should 20x, they might even 30 or 50x, I think. Because lower cap altcoins versus Bitcoin tend to go up. Maybe it's only a 5x, but there's going to be so many high gainer opportunities coming up in this crypto market. But we only have 6 likes on this video and 27 viewers, which frankly breaks my heart. You know, we're going to have to get a couple more likes on the video if you love crypto. I mean, that's all I'm saying. The Infinity, you're welcome. Thanks for the question very much. Do I hold Atom on my wallet in stake? I actually don't hold any Atom, which is something I regret. I would like to get more Atom. For those of you who don't know, Cosmos and Atom, the Atom token is very cool. Cosmos is essential for Cronos, and I think that if you're missing out on that, then you're probably going to regret it. And right now I'm missing out on that, and I'm probably going to regret it. And we'll see if I get that. But right now I'm focusing on Bitcoin and Ethereum personally. So that's kind of where I'm at. I see those likes climbing, guys. I see you guys are furiously tapping the like button, and I appreciate it. What else is going on, folks? Shy Sox fan says, yeah, he's buying Quant in the 80s. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay. What project do you hold for a lifetime? I mean, not selling it all and just waiting for retirement. QBA, here's my honest answer. If it's anything, it's only Bitcoin, period. End of story. Only Bitcoin. But even that, I'm going to tell you, I intend on selling every single penny I have in crypto at some point in 2025. You heard it. I will sell all of my crypto in 2025. Am I going to enter back into the market? Absolutely. There seems to be market cycles here. I'm going to wait for a correction. I'm going to buy the dip, and I'm going to take a big win in crypto. If you get a 30, 50x, take the profit and walk away. If you never get back in and it keeps going up, well, then you made 30 to 50x. That's incredible. But it's going to come back down. It's going to come back down at some point. Maybe it's not to the lows that it previously was. Maybe it's not relatively as low from peak to valley as it was in the past, but at least you win. At least you win. Taking profits is excellent. Money is good to have in your pocket. I don't like to have cash. I think cash is trash. But, say you make $500,000 from Crow or something crazy. Well, then sell it. Pay off your house. Buy the S&P 500 instead. Buy that car. Maybe you need a new car. Buy a car. Pay in cash. Don't have debt. Buy a real estate investment property. Get into something else, because these things don't go up forever. And I'm not saying I'm only in it for the money and that I don't believe in the future of crypto, but there's no project in my mind, maybe Bitcoin's the exception, that makes sense to hold forever. Now, if you're a millionaire already and you've got millions of dollars and you want to hold a couple million here and you have a couple million liquid you're trading over, that's fine. That's great. That makes sense to me. Do whatever you want to do. Then at that point, who cares? You're just having fun. But if you, are not a millionaire and that money grows to $1 million, why on earth would you just hold it? You got to sell it. You got to take some profit. You have to make that money real world money. Buy an asset like a house, pay off your house, secure the win. And then with your income, you can start dollar cost averaging back into that, into whatever coin it is or whatever project you like. In the future. Satoshi says his brother made his first Bitcoin purchase in September. Congratulations to brother Satoshi. When is he going to watch the channel, Sushi? I don't see Satoshi little brother account here. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. Congratulations to him. That is spectacular. We got a lot of loyal members on the channel. Hodl Crow for life. I see Crow being like stellar XLM, but better. XLM never dropped to 2020 lows, but been going up since January 1st of 2022. Yeah, I just think, we're going to have a lot of projects that go up in a big way. When a bull market comes, Bitcoin's got to lead the charge, though, folks. Bitcoin's got to lead the charge. QBA says, love the videos. Keep it up. Get Crow Neon behind you. Get Crow Neon behind you. Nice blue lion. All right. I don't know what Crow Neon is, but maybe I got some learning to do myself. I got to figure it out. Tej, good to see you, Tej. Thanks for joining us, guys. A little Q&A for you. Let me know if y'all have any other questions. I'm going to take a little sip of coffee here. This video is sponsored by nobody, courtesy of nobody, and it's sponsored by the viewers on the channel. How about that? We don't have any sponsors. We are not paid. We love crypto.com. We talk about crypto.com all the time, guys. We're not sponsored. We're not paid by crypto.com. A lot of people in like comments on the videos will be like, how much you get paid for this one? I've never gotten paid a dime for a single video yet. Let me make sure that's true. Yeah. Yep. We haven't gotten paid a single dime at all on this channel for any video outside of ad revenue from YouTube and super chats. And we appreciate the super chats, guys. Also, I think we're going to bring merch to you guys. So can you guys give me an idea? Please do me a favor right now. Go into the chat and let me know. If you were to buy some Bitcoin merch or Ethereum merch or Crowcoin merch is tough because that's a copyright logo, I'm pretty sure. But what kind of merch would you like? Is it more basic? Do you want something with more like sarcastic slogans or funny slogans on it? What kind of merch would you like? In the meantime, Tej asks, what's your hidden gem you found, Crypto Kip? My hidden gem is Crow. My hidden gem is Crow. That's not a hidden gem, Crypto Kip. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look at all the major crypto channels out there. All the major crypto channels, anybody with over 100,000 subscribers. There's like 1 or 2 channels that talk about CRO. I don't know why nobody talks about CRO. It makes zero sense to me. I think it's the best hidden gem out there, and it's hidden in plain sight. It's right there. I honestly believe it's the best hidden gem. That's it. I mean, you could look for, Zilliqa, right? Which is, we talked about Zilliqa. Who knows? Maybe that's a smart contract play that becomes a good Ethereum competitor. They got to know metaverse. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's a metaverse coin. Maybe it's, Engine or maybe it's some of these other coins out there. I don't really have other hidden. I don't look for the small cap gems so much, because I know on the mid cap gems you can make almost, more sure upside profits. Let's put it that way. All right. Crow explode. Yeah, people are bullish on Crow, but not enough people are bullish on Crow. I'm shocked that people aren't talking about it. Ben Armstrong, previously BitBoy Crypto, started his own channel. I've heard him talk about Crow once or twice. I'm curious to see if maybe he starts talking about Crow more. We're trying to get on his channel as well, because I think that it's important for us to keep kind of spreading the word about Crow. The best way for us to do that is for us to get in front of other YouTube audiences and get on other influencer shows and be the voice of the Crow fam, be the voice of the Crow community. Oscar Ramos certainly talks a lot on Twitter, and he talks out to Chris Marziak. But what I want to do is I want to get in front of other YouTubers, large YouTubers. I'd love to get in with Altcoin Daily and debate Crow and talk about my theories on Crow. Ben Armstrong, I'd love to get in and talk to him about Crow. I'd love to get in even with Discovery Crypto, regardless of what's going on with all the drama there. I'm going to keep an open mind to everybody. Let's talk about crypto content, and let's talk about Crow, which seems to be getting neglected from a lot of major YouTube video content creators. I think that it's a hidden gem, hidden in plain sight. All right, guys, I got a jet. Thanks for tuning in, guys. That's all I got for you in this one. I am Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. Don't forget to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, folks, you got to remember to DCA, HODL, and of course, we will see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. I'll have some videos coming out for you later today. As always, I'll see you next time, folks. Peace.